I'm Dr. Orion Taraban, and this is PsycHacks, Better Living Through Psychology. And the topic of today's short talk is garden tools. Don't worry, everyone. This didn't just suddenly become a horticulture channel. Today, I'm going to be talking about a very specific type of garden tool, the hoe, and the uses to which it can and cannot be applied. Let's get to it. Without mincing words, men have long had a bone to pick with women's hoeish behavior. Some men are both denunciatory and judgmental, and very vocally so, with respect to these kinds of behaviors. But here's the thing we have to appreciate from the get-go. If you understand nothing else about hoeish behavior in women, let it be this: it works. Hoeish behavior persists through time because it works. Ineffective behaviors tend to die out on the population level when they fail to achieve the desired outcome, which in this case would be men's resources and attention. If it didn't work, we wouldn't see it today. So the reason we see hoeish behavior in women is that it works on a lot of men. In fact, a lot of guys love this type of woman. That's their type. Like, they like the bimbo, stripper, slutty archetype. Don't shoot the messenger, it's not my type, but that attraction archetype works on a sizable proportion of men. And which sizable proportion? Ironically, a lot of the men who are so vocally opposed to it, for reasons I'll discuss shortly. Most men who don't have these women on their radar don't really care what they choose to do with their lives one way or another. Just keeping it real. In any case, the hoe is an attraction archetype that is not going away anytime soon because it's been sufficiently reinforced to persist on the population level. A sizable proportion of men is highly attracted to this type of woman, and these men seek to enter into relationships with them, which is precisely where they run into difficulty. I'm sure you've heard the saying, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. I mean, that one was around when I was a boy. And well, it's true. You can't. But that's what these men try to do. They try to manage the hoeish behavior that frankly motivated them to enter into the relationship in the first place once they succeed in establishing said relationship. And that really doesn't work for a number of reasons. First and foremost, no one, man or woman, no one should undermine the basis of their own attraction. Like, men complain online about their wives slowly and systematically taking away the things that made them attractive to begin with, which, if successful, not only makes the men unhappy, but increases the likelihood that the women in question will lose interest in that relationship as well. Not a good idea. Well, that works both ways. Guys, don't take away the things that attracted you to a woman. If you're attracted to hoes, then, be honest with yourself. Don't try to clothe your attraction in some high-minded rationalization that you're trying to take her away from all that. Bro, there are plenty of women who stay the hell away from that entire lifestyle that could have saved you the trouble. But you're not looking there, are you? So be real with yourself. If you like hoes, then own it. And don't try to make her into something she's not. People undermine the foundation of attraction in their own relationships at their own risk. And in the second place, how do men go about trying to induce this change? By playing games of control. And what do these games sound like? I don't want you going out dressed like that. I don't want you going to the club anymore. You have too many guy friends. I don't want you talking to them anymore, etc., etc., etc. And it's like, my brother in Christ, you knew what you were getting into when you signed up. It is completely unreasonable to expect that a woman is going to suddenly and dramatically change your behavior that, let's be honest, at least in part caused you to become attracted to her to begin with, simply because you now have feelings for her. I can understand why women react badly to this type of reasoning. Nobody, man or woman, nobody likes to feel like they're being controlled. And a common response to that feeling is something called reactance, in which people basically just willfully do the opposite of what they're told to do, even if it's not in their best interest to do so, in an attempt to reassert their autonomy and freedom. So yeah, fair enough. If you're interested in taking your understanding to the next level, I would encourage you to check out the Captain's Quarters, my members-only self-improvement community. Your monthly membership will get you access to a cadre of like-minded, supportive individuals, bi-monthly group consultation sessions hosted by yours truly, and exclusive content that you won't find anywhere else. Click the link in the description for more information. Hope to see you aboard. Guys, it's not complicated. If you want a girl to dress a certain way, or who prefers staying in to going out to the club, that is absolutely your right. Just find a girl who already dresses that way and doesn't go to the club. Like, it's really not that hard. Though, to be honest, it might be hard for you because you might actually be really attracted to that archetype. In which case, you're going to have a hard talk with the man in the mirror and ask, why am I so attracted to women who behave this way? Why am I attracted to women who present themselves in this manner? Like, where did that come from? You might actually learn something a fuck ton more useful to you than anything you could possibly learn by Googling how to get a woman to not go out on ladies' night. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. That doesn't necessarily mean you can't have a satisfying relationship with one, but like I've said, you can only have certain relationships with certain people. And you're not going to have a stable long-term relationship founded on traditional gender roles with a woman who behaves in that way. Shocker. On the other hand, gentlemen, listen closely. While you can't turn a hoe into a housewife, you can absolutely turn a housewife into a hoe. And if you're a man who is attracted to hoeish behavior, this, in my opinion, is a much better way to go about getting what you want. It's been said that women want a bad boy who's only good for her, and men want a good girl who's only bad for him. A lady in the streets and a freak in the sheets, as it were. And I think there's some truth to that. However, if you think about it, that means starting with the good girl first, with the lady. Find yourself a girl who acts right from the get-go. She doesn't have a big public-facing social media presence. She doesn't go to suspicious places late at night with strange men involving alcohol. She doesn't have a horde of friendly men surrounding her at all times. Like, that's potentially a good woman to have a long-term relationship with. So, why don't more men seek these women out? For the same reason that women don't seek out nice guys. These women are boring. I hate to say it, but people, men and women, go to relationships to feel. And a lot of guys seek out the excitement and titillation that comes with hoeish women. Like, say what you will about them, there's generally not a dull moment when it comes to these kinds of women. And boredom is actually one of the hardest emotions for most human beings to tolerate. This means that until a man resolves the wounding or programming that leads him to interpret a lack of problems as boring instead of peaceful, he is likely going to be susceptible to that kind of presentation in women. However, my experience has taught me that all women, even good girls who would never do that, are generally able to keep an open mind in the bedroom when they are sufficiently attracted to you. If a woman's attraction level is high enough, she'll be open to trying things that she's never done before, that maybe she's never even thought of doing before, just because she'll be doing them with you, her special man. This means that you can actually take a good girl, provided she's very attracted to you, and privately make her bad for you personally. And I think that is much preferable to taking a woman who is like generally bad for all kinds of men and privately trying to make her a good girl for you personally. You follow? And trust me, while their numbers might be dwindling, those good girls are still out there. Though you may have to examine yourself if you're having trouble finding them. Where are you looking? To whom is your attention drawn, etc. Go about this in the right order, and you may be able to have your cake and eat it too. What do you think? Does this fit with your own experience? Let me know in the comments below. And please send this episode to someone who you think might benefit from its message, because it's word of mouth referrals like this that really help to make the channel grow. Other value propositions: anyone looking to join my free weekly newsletter, for which I write original content, or book a paid one-on-one consultation with yours truly, can do so on my website. There's also my best-selling book, The Value of Others, in which I explore intersexual dynamics, and my private member community, The Captain's Quarters, where I host bi-monthly group consultation calls and Q&As with invited guests from all over the internet. It's a lot of fun. Check it out if you are so inclined. The links to everything are in the description below. As always, I appreciate your support, and thank you for listening.